This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
And the pitch is swung on, hit the right field, hit deep. Whitefield going back at the track, over his head, and over the wall. Do you believe that?
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Ramirez with a drive to deep right, away back, goal!
Gohei hits a bomb out there by the Rocks. And boy, oh boy, this third inning is now showtime.
It is a judgy in blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe. From humidors to spin rates to game-changing moments, we have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us next from the town, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
All righty, we're up for round two, day two of the winter meetings, back from lunch. And look who we have here. A man that it looks like you got a title change. You're now Senior Director, On-Field Operations for Major League Baseball. Former A, Rajai Davis joins us here. How are you?
I am well. Thanks for having me.
Well, last time we had you on the program was winter meetings down in San Diego. How has the last year been for you?
It's been good. I think we were able with Major League Baseball to accomplish a lot of things on the field, especially with the experimental rules, seeming like that's working and seeming like a lot of happy faces and a lot of people going home a little earlier.
Well, I'll tell you what. That was something we talked to you because remember the rules were going to change. We didn't know how's everybody going to do with the pitch clock. We're asking you, how many bases would you steal with these new rules? And it looked like it all worked out.
Yes. It certainly definitely worked out. And there was an increase in stolen bases. It was the most successful in years. I think it was at like 81 or 82% success rate of stolen bases. So that was
which
the highest,
is huge.
Yeah, that was the highest in the history of baseball. So,
did you want to get your cleats back on when you saw those numbers?
Well, when I seen those numbers and knowing that my percentage was like 79, I was like, whoa. I only can imagine what I could do with these advantages.
Did you ever really man, I could have
Yeah.
over a hundo?
Yeah. Well, that's a challenge because you have to have a couple things working for you. First off, you have to play every day. Then you have to get on base a lot because they're not giving that away free. And then you have to have a team that's willing to allow you to run as well.
Yeah. But it was, they were running at a historic clip, and it was a lot of fun to see, no question, the game. And obviously, the time of game coming down was the big one. We saw it not only during the regular season, we saw it in the postseason. But the key thing is we had Dan Otero on, obviously former A, and working in the same office as you, is where you guys are the middleman between baseball and the players. Once the rules started being implemented, just what was the reaction like? Because the players are going to talk to you. How were they feeling about it? From the outside looking in, it looked like pretty quick. They accepted it, figured it out, and let's go.
Yeah, so for the most part, we had a lot of positive feedback from the players in regards to the pitch timer. And, we got some, kickback on some of the pitchers step offs and the limited step offs. Obviously that helps the runners, right? So, from our perspective, from Major League's perspective, when we did the polls of, what is the most, exciting play in baseball with the fans, the number one is, stolen bases attempts. So, we're helping to kind of feed that with our fans and hopefully, that kind of that the players will understand that and we can continue to move forward.
Now that you've implemented rules that have worked, what are we talking? Are there new things that we're talking about, we're looking at? And obviously you don't want to throw too much too early, but there was great success. So what would you like to see if someone, if the commish or somebody around him said, all right, Rajai, what would you like to see?
I think as a player, and I get this from a lot of players, is, is a lot of things moving, a lot of moving parts, and sometimes it takes some time to adjust. So being able to get something that's kind of going to stay for a while, that kind of works for players. And when you do too much change, and there's so much things just changing, that kind of hurts, that kind of helps, or players don't really like that. So not trying to change too much too in a short period of time. I think maybe it might be a little tweak here and there, with the base path. But just trying to see what's happening in the game, watching the game, and seeing how teams are acting, how players are being taught, and watching the game. Sometimes you see the blocking of the bases, all along the bases. Sometimes you see that, and that's a potential area where guys could get hurt, right? Because you
Yeah.
see a lot more guys diving in hands head first, right? And if guys are putting their knees down, that could be potentially harmful for our players.
The importance of your relationship with the players and the trust. Talk about that.
Yes, and that comes with over time, because obviously that was not the case when I started. But I think just the more times that we're able to have some FaceTime to be able to talk. Obviously, we have the credibility with the players, having played and seeing our heart, because our heart, is to make this game better, help everyone, and help the industry, grow. And and being able to share that message with the players on a day-to-day basis, especially during the season, is vital.
Yeah, I think that, there needed to be something like that. There was just too much animosity between the players and Major League Baseball. An in-between person, especially guys who played the game, to me seemed like such the right move and the right call.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think we're only hoping to grow that, and to continue to build our relationships, and continue to strengthen the ones that we have built, and continue to be a bridge for the players and the teams with the commissioner's office.
When you think about your post career and what you've been doing, and obviously it's been fantastic, to watch you grow. I mean, even you're now senior director. When did senior director come on?
I don't have anything to do with the titles. I think they're very creative, and
Yeah.
and create the titles. I just think of myself as helping to help this game move along and grow the game, by us all working together. If we're all in unity, we can all move to further along in this game. And I think everyone wants to grow. Every team wants to grow, and the industry wants to grow. So with unity, we can do that.
Well, speaking with Dan Otero, he talked about the thing that he's learned so much is just how big baseball is and how many different things there are in baseball. Because, you just think like players, managers, front office, and that's, baseball. And then all of a sudden you start working for the league and you just, wow, I can't believe actually how big the league is. So just like when you start to think about your growth and what do you think about when you start progressing throughout Major League Baseball? What have you thought about your future?
So I started actually thinking about, like, where are the issues, where are the problems we having, and I can look out and see, okay, well, maybe our players need some more accountability, right? If they have someone who could help with that, or someone that could help players when they have a bad year, right? And how are you going to help him get on back on track, right? Because we want our best players playing really good, and that's good for the game. It's good for the fans. Our best players being on the field, and obviously injuries is an issue sometimes with some clubs, with some players, and being able to keep our players healthy is huge. So when I think of that, I think of how can we help our players stay on the field, stay healthy, and really take care of those off the field issues, because I believe that those off the field issues directly affect those on field play.
No doubt. And I think mental health is really for the first time truly being addressed. We're understanding it. Teams are understanding that players can need help. We had our situation this year with Trevor May. How much have you delved into that and helping teams and helping baseball realize mental health is an issue? Anxiety, depression, these types of things are going on with our players, to where years ago it was suck it up or we'll send you to the minor leagues. And that's not the smartest way to deal with it.
Well, exactly. That's why I started a program to help, an accountability program to help the players, to help them with their brand, to help them with their stock, and to do it through mechanics, right? Their mechanics on and off the field. For some guys, it's mechanics in their head, right? And so if we can deal with those issues and deal with them, the mental, maybe it's a relationship that they're having, in the off season, that, or it's something else. Maybe it's the alcohol abuse. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it's issues that are going on that if they don't talk to someone, these issues could get and become problematic. And now you're affecting the team, you're affecting the league, you're affecting the fans, you're affecting what they expect out of that player.
These meetings, we talk so much about our role and what we're doing and looking at the meetings, but just talk about for you on a regular basis when you come to this. It's the industry meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It's where the industry one time a year comes together. Talk about what your day is like and everything, because you're someone that's dealing with baseball, you're dealing with the players. Tell us what a day's like for you.
So, for instance, today we had umpire meeting. We have replay meetings. We're talking with the clubhouse managers. So everything that's connected with on field, we're dealing with those, and we're talking with those, and we're relaying messages. And we let them know that we were listening to you last year, right? We're listening to that's why I go to the field. That's why Dan goes to the field. That's why Gregor goes to the field, to gain all this feedback from the field, and then we can implement issues that's going to help the game progress.
Replay. How happy are people with replay?
Yes.
Take us around how people really feel. Do they love it? Not love it? Like, how do they feel about replay?
I think overall it's a positive feedback on replay. Obviously, not everything can be replayable, because then we get back to the same place where we were, where the games could last longer than we want, right? And so, that has been a plus and a positive, with having the replay.
Are we ever going to satisfy everybody with how we do replay?
Exactly.
That's probably the best question.
Right.
Are we going to satisfy? Is there a way we can satisfy everybody?
That's not possible. But we can surely, I think we can get the majority.
Yeah, hopefully. When you start thinking about so many international players, when you talk about the role of helping, especially young players, we see the Japanese players, they're going to get interpreters. We don't see that with the Hispanic speaking players as much. I mean, when you talk about, helping international players, how much are you involved in that?
Well, I think that would be more Gregor Blanco. He speaks 2 languages, and he's on our on-field operations team and department. So he kind of helps with that area, and he goes to these Latin American countries. I could possibly take a trip with him this coming up year, and perhaps we can start something. Those are issues that I think we need to dive more into and see where we can go and help out.
Are you able to travel that much?
Well, yes and no. I haven't really officially talked with our managers on this, but I know Gregor does go internationally, and he has gone internationally this past season to deal with. And I was just talking to some of our MLB guys who are in the DR and are in Venezuela and in these places, and there is a need for that. They're asking me to come out there and help there with their academies, help see their kids. It would be good for them, and just having those conversations more often and seeing how we can make a solution or bring a solution.
Let's end on this. When we start thinking about this upcoming season, what are some changes we could be looking at?
for this upcoming season, we could. I mean, we don't know for sure, but we could see a potential. The baseline. We could see that. We could see a change there with the runners, the first base runners lane, and
always controversial, always comes up during the year.
Yes, right, and that has been like a big thing. So we could see a change there. We could not. It's not official, right? So that's one thing, and hopefully that we will have. The fans come out like they did last year and continue to come out and continue to love this game that I love so much and continue to just support baseball.
One thing we do know, baseball's slow to change, right? Baseball is slow to change. It's not easy to change things in this game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
You've been at all those meetings. Hey, it's great catching up with you. Let's not do this just once every year. Let's check up during the season. A's fans would love to hear from you, but I'm so happy for you and Dan and these new careers and what your guys are doing. You're not having to travel too much. You don't have to be in uniform. You're staying in the game. You're changing the game. You're making the game better for players. It's kind of like you found your right spot here in your post-playing career.
Yeah. It's been fun, and I thank you. I appreciate you for having me on the show and be able to enlighten, just kind of give an update on where I see the game and where I think the industry is going.
Awesome. Coming up next, Dan O'Dowd from the MLB Network right here on A's Cast Live. Cody for Link Soul. You got to go to their website right now, linksoul.com. The new polos are unbelievable. New colors, lighter weight. We got our new summer shipment, Cody.
I couldn't be happier. I look better. All thanks to Link Soul.
So we're talking about new polos. You can check out their shorts, anything you need for summer. They have it right now. When you go to their website, they've got a smoking summer deal. Go to linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com.
It's almost that time again, A's fans. Spring training will be here before you know it, and the Oakland Athletics will be celebrating 10 years at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, starting on February 24th, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends.
Lawrence Butler, it's a fly ball to left field that's deep. Has a chance opposite field, home run, Lawrence Butler.
Grab your tickets early for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Giants, Padres, Cubs, Angels, and more at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring.
Hey, it's Eno Saris, your friendly neighborhood baseball scribe. There are two things I love, baseball and beer. When I'm not busy around the ballpark, you'll likely catch me back with a cold one at any of Fieldwork Brewing's 8 locations sprinkled across the Bay Area. Fieldwork's got a rotating lineup of over 20 beers on tap that's as diverse as any 26-man roster. They got everything from super juicy hazy IPAs to crisp pilsners and tropical sours that make your taste buds do the wave. Whether you're all about that draft life or prefer to grab some cans to go, Fieldwork's got your bases covered. Check them out at fieldworkbrewing.com to learn more. That's fieldworkbrewing.com.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Now through December 21st, new customers can get 1.2 gigabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Switch today. Requires paperless bill and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Former Rookie of the Year and A's first base coach Bobby Crosby joined A's Cast Live to talk about his growth as a manager at Midland.
I wouldn't say there's a lot except for just learning the game more. I mean, there's always different personalities that you're going to get. You talked about Wash. A lot of the stuff I do came from him. It's a passion. It's about the players. It's not about myself. I had my time playing. That was great. Now it's about them. So I pour everything into them. What do they need? It's not about what I need. And I've tried to do that from when I first started coaching. Managing, there's always, there's different facets of the game. The running game, which I really didn't have to worry about as a shortstop that I've learned. And you get different personalities. Last year we had a tight-knit group that knew each other because there was a lot of repeat guys. And this year we've had, uber talented guys come up, but they weren't a part of that same group. So it's how do we form these guys into all believing the same thing and being under the same umbrella and believing in each other. So there's always certain different things that are going to come up that are going to help me grow as a coach. Whatever happens with me coaching wise, that's great. And I would love to coach in the big leagues and manage in the big leagues. And I think that'd be a blast.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
This is Chris Townsend, and if you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see my friends at the Chicken Pie Shop at Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Nestled in the hills of San Jose, minutes from Silicon Valley, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club offers 27 holes of championship golf, a first-class pro shop, practice facility, and great food in the grill. This time of year also means family and business get-togethers. Let the folks at Cinnabar Hills make your event unforgettable while enjoying their award-winning venue. It's all there for you. Championship golf, a great space for any events, and incredible food. See it all at CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
Hey, Billy. This deck is great for getting everyone together. Thanks. We're really enjoying the outdoor space, especially on a day like today. What's the material? Humboldt Redwood from Ashby Lumber. They gave us a great deal, provided us with a quick quote, and we couldn't be happier. We even found a great contractor through their online contractor directory.
Don't miss a day outdoors. Visit Ashby Lumber in Berkeley or Concord to see our stock of naturally strong, naturally beautiful Humboldt Redwood. Find out more at ashbylumber.com for all your building needs. Ashby Lumber.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Streaming from the town, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Well, you hear him on Sirius XM, Power Alley in the morning. Starts at, 7 a.m. Pacific?
Yeah.
For us, out west, yes.
That's right.
And, of course, doing TV pre for the New York Mets, former general manager. Jim Duquette joins us here on A's Cast Live. Duke, it's always great to have you on. How are you?
Always nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Despite the fact that we haven't done anything as in the industry.
We came to Nashville. We got to go to the Titans game. We did Broadway Street. We've done a bunch of barbecue. I mean,
wow, that's amazing.
Is this what we came for?
I hope not, but that's what it's looking like right now. Yeah, this is. I was a little concerned when we got here. Got here Saturday because our show on Sunday, our front office show, we had.
And let me throw out there this: if you love the game of baseball from a general manager's perspective, I always listen to it on the way up to the games in Oakland. Jim Squared, as our own Dallas Braden called it. Your guys' front office show. I'm sorry I didn't bring that one up on Sunday morning.
No.
It might be the best show, whether we're talking terrestrial radio, streaming, satellite. That show is phenomenal, and you get all your buddies, all the front office guys. It's amazing.
We have Bowden guilting them into coming onto our show. That's like if you don't come on, I'm going to rip you in the Athletic. Like he threatens them with that kind of stuff. And so yeah, we get all the guests on our show, which is fun. And so we had our show on Sunday night, but prior to that, Nightingale has to go ruin the atmosphere here at the Nashville by saying he doesn't think Ohtani's going to sign until next week.
Yeah.
Well, every person that I've talked to, GM, agent, they're all like, well, the whole market is tied to once Ohtani signs, then it'll break the dam and everyone else will sign after that, or you'll start to see, interest pick up in other spots. So if you take, and right now it kind of looks like Ohtani reports are pretty accurate that they were in Dunedin, Florida. Why Dunedin, Florida? Listen, there are better spring training sites than Dunedin, Florida, but the Blue Jays have a terrific spring training site there. So they went to visit there. It's right in the middle of our winter meetings.
Yeah.
Like, why are we? But the agent, he couldn't find a better time to go to Florida than right in the middle of our winter meetings. Like, unfortunately, the agent is holding the industry hostage here, and maybe that's how he wanted it. But there's a lot of animosity that's been directed towards the agent currently because of the way this has been handled so far.
And my other theory to this is we got a cable problem. We got an RSN problem.
Yes, we do.
And there are teams who still don't even know. There's teams who they've lost their cable money. We got teams who don't know yet whether they're going to lose their cable money. And I think that could also be playing it. And as a GM, right, if you don't know if you're going to have the cable money or not, it's going to be tough for you to be out here. You could be in Nashville throwing money out in guaranteed years if you don't know what your cable is going to look like.
Well, we have at least 3 teams, Minnesota, Cleveland, San Diego, off the top of my head, that already know that it's going to be a little bit of a reduced pie of the regional money, the local TV money. It's affecting their overall Major League payroll. So they're reducing payroll. They're jettisoning players that ordinarily you'd say, like Cal Quantrill. Why was he put on waivers and claimed, the deal was done with Colorado Rockies, but he was a good pitcher for the Guardians 2 years ago? Because they're reducing their payroll because of their TV deal. Why is Sonny Gray, not back as a Minnesota Twin because he wanted to be there, or Kenta Maeda? Partly because the market went up, but partly because they have to reduce their payroll because of the TV stuff that's going on. So that part of it is impacting the industry as well.
So as someone who's been around this, and if you think about Shohei Ohtani, it's more than just a player. It's because what he is going to make you domestically, what he's going to make you internationally. We've learned a lot about that. I've done the comparison. It's like, you want to make a lot of money, make a film, you get Tom Cruise in it. Put Tom Cruise in the movie, you make a lot. Mm-hmm. You want to make another Mission Impossible? Well, if you got Tom Cruise, you're going to make money. Yeah. Overseas, you're going to make money here. Top Gun to it. To me, that's like what Ohtani is the star.
Right.
You get him, you're going to make a lot of money. There's no question about it. But going in when you talk about the owner, how many people in your sales, everybody that's going to really have to be involved to say, what is the value? What are we willing to offer? This is so different than probably any other free agent we've ever seen.
He is because, the international part of this and the subscribers, when you have the streaming option and when you have the different business that, like if you watched an Angels game, which you saw a lot of, right? Any type of shot of home behind home plate, especially when Ohtani was up, was a lot of Japanese companies that were paying millions of dollars for that access and for that exposure, right? And so, if you're in a market that's in on Ohtani, and it's mostly the larger market ones, you're trying to figure out what is the value, either now or 5 years from now, what kind of revenue can you bring in? It's going to be an offset of what you're going to have to pay this guy long term, and how can you maximize the dollars in what are the different areas, the different little business aspects of it that you're going to, is it going to be just advertising in the stadium? No, of course not, right? It's going to be the TV ads, everything that's related to it, the merchandising. So these are huge deals that you have to get multiple people in the business department on board with it and crunching numbers and figuring out what is the overall impact going to be on your team. And so, I think that's why you see some of these teams that are in it that is Toronto really in it? Yeah. I mean, what he, bringing him there to the country, to not just Toronto, but to the country of Canada would be a huge financial game for, Rogers, Communication, who owns the Blue Jays. So they're not. It's a complicated deal, and financially, and that's why I think another reason why you're seeing the price tags and the numbers that you're seeing with Ohtani go over $500 million.
Now, when you sign a long-term deal, it's like getting married. It's like when I told my wife I want to be with you forever. I wasn't allowed to say, but in 2 years I want to check back and I might want to opt out. And then I might want to opt out again in 4 years. I wasn't able to put any opt-out clauses in my marriage.
Right.
How do you feel as an executive? You want to sign a long-term deal, but yet someone wants what we're hearing is a lot of different opt-outs. So I want to offer everything, and I want to love you forever, and you want to every couple of years be able to say you're out of here.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of the opt-out, although I have grown to understand, it's a necessary evil. We're not like it's like the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. We can't tell pitchers to stop throwing that hard, even though it's a risk of injury.
Correct.
We created this monster called the opt-out, and you can't put it back into the bottle. It's not,
the toothpaste is out of the tube.
It's done. It's over. You got to make it the adjustment. You got to stop kicking. You can say kick sand to the agent all you want, but in the end, someone else is going to give it to him. So for you to compete with the guy, you got to give him the opt-out. So now, in the end, I would say this: if he were to opt out after 5 years, so you got 5 good years. And he said, yeah, I'm going to opt out for the final 5 and go out and renegotiate a new deal. I've come to reconsider this a little bit and say, you know what? We had him for 5 really good years. Maybe the back end of the 5, which I was concerned about at the very beginning, maybe I'm okay with him going out there. Maybe I don't need to take that.
So the
risk
divorce
anymore.
is okay.
So maybe in the end, okay, that's part ways. Can we stay friends? But you went to somewhere else. I don't know. That's to me, I'm starting to get a little more comfortable with that idea.
I like it too, because we know we don't get better as we get older.
Hardly ever. I mean, wine. What else? Ages well.
Some cheese,
but it has to be certain cheese.
Certain meats. You can dry age some meats, not long, but you can dry age some meat.
Farron says the worst part of the meat, right? What's the meat that he loves to just cook it and just let it sit for days, right? And whatever the meat cut that he no one else really likes it, but he's like, I like it because you can let it sit 5 or 6 days, and then it's really, really tender. Man.
Your partner's got
Why
issues.
do
Can we just admit
wait that long to have a meal? I want dinner tonight.
I if I was the boss at SiriusXM, I would say if you work as hard as you did at the bar working people at night, if you worked on your show during the day as hard as you worked at, you know how good your show would be? No one's working that bar harder than that guy at night.
We try to keep the bar low. We don't need to be raising the bar anymore. Don't be, let Farron do his thing. He's going to sweat all over you. We know that he's going to be pouring sweat everywhere. That's just part of the deal. Yeah, he's going to hang out with who he hangs out with, and most of them don't come on our show.
Yeah.
They're just like friends. It's like friends of Mike. Okay, you're over there. We'll talk to you later, but you're not coming on the show. Like no one wants to listen to you. Like that's just part of it.
Just because you bought him drinks last night doesn't mean you're going to be a guest on the show.
No, you're not coming on. We're not letting you on.
Yeah. All right, but before we let you go, Juan Soto, we're waiting around. He's 24 years old. This guy's got this incredible career in front of him. He's got 1 year left, or about 33 million will be about arbitration.
Yep.
It's like we're not even talking about him. We should. People should be fighting over him, and it's not happening.
They will fight over him once Ohtani goes, because the teams who don't get Ohtani will be in on not all of them, but some of them will be in on Soto. Like Toronto for sure. The Yankees are in. They can say they're out, but they're in, and they think they're the only game in town. Toronto's in. There'll be another team, maybe Chicago, if they don't get Ohtani. But they can compete with the package that the Yankees have put together for Soto. So I think that in the end, he's going to be traded. They're basically showing all their cards out there, I think. But they got to wait. Like the rest of the industry, Bellinger's got to wait. After Yamamoto, Jordan Montgomery will go, and Blake Snell and Eduardo Rodriguez may go, but he's here kind of shopping and going into every suite, and there's teams that are interested in him, but there's a pecking order, and it's got to be Ohtani first, and then Yamamoto next, and that looks like it's going to go into next week.
Is that where the Mets? Of course, you cover the Mets. Is Yamamoto? Is that where he come in with the Mets? Yeah.
Well, but it's also the Yankees, the Dodgers, Giants. Because if the Giants don't get Ohtani, who's their star player that they got to get? Well, maybe it's Bellinger, but it's likely Yamamoto. Maybe it's both. But they there's a lot of pressure on Farhan Zaidi right now, and that factors into some of these numbers that you're saying. Like, who knows with Yamamoto where that number's going? And I keep hearing it might be close to 250 or more, because there are teams out there like the Giants that, if they don't get Ohtani, which is hard to predict that they're gonna, their fallback is Yamamoto, so it's going to be fascinating once Ohtani goes, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen by tomorrow when we're all heading out of here.
On my way to the golf course, this is the guy I listen to.
I hope you're hitting them straight.
The game is actually in the off season about this time. Game is strong.
It's better.
Yeah.
When does it start to go downhill?
February.
That's the kind of when you hit the spring
I'm strong
training
into February, and then once we start, we go down to Arizona, because you think you go to spring. We work all day, so I don't get to play.
Yep.
And then once we start games, we come on before the games and this stuff.
Yeah, it's over.
So I enjoy this time. This is my time of year.
Yeah. Well, all right.
I'm feeling it.
I'm glad. What is it at right now?
4.
Is that the best? What's the best it's been? The handicap?
3.8.
Okay. That's significant.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3.8. Can you get better than that, you think? Ever?
I got to stop working. That's my problem.
Got to win the.
I got to sit here and talk about Ohtani not signing.
Got to win the lottery.
Yeah, I'm sitting here talking about a bunch of people that don't affect me. That's the problem.
Yeah, it is the problem.
If you can figure out how I can get.
I'll give that some thought. How can I get you more golf time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell, man, that's what smart people do.
Let me figure that out.
I love the show.
All right, buddy. Good to see you as always. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
And good luck with the sweater.
Oh, man. The sweater. And did you notice today we had, who was it that we had on? It was Mike Hazen, general manager of the Diamondbacks. Farron was the radio guy there. Farron walks around now. He's got 2 buttons on his shirt unbuttoned, right? The third one, only Gabe Kapler unbuttons the third, okay? But Farron should button it all the way to the top, because he's got all this chest hair that comes popping out like a gift. It's not good. It's a terrible look. It is a terrible look. Oh, good Lord. And we had to look at it. All of our guests had to look at it the whole show. It was terrible. You know what I'm talking about, too.
I saw
his hair. You saw it.
I saw
Imagine the sweaty chest hair popping out like it's not good.
Sometimes it's better just to be on the phone when you're a guest on Power Alley.
Phone only. Phone only.
The best thing is MLB Network BK has the shredder. You have the sweater.
We do. We do. Oh, my God. I'm never going to look at the shredder again. Differently. I can't. Oh, Lord.
All right. You be well. Happy holidays.
Good to see you guys.
Next time we'll see you in spring training.
All right. Look forward to it.
More coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
Hey, it's Eno Saris, your friendly neighborhood baseball scribe. There are 2 things I love, baseball and beer. When I'm not busy around the ballpark, you'll likely catch me back with a cold one at any of Fieldwork Brewing's 8 locations sprinkled across the Bay Area. Fieldwork's got a rotating lineup of over 20 beers on tap that's as diverse as any 26-man roster. They got everything from super juicy hazy IPAs to crisp pilsners and tropical sours that make your taste buds do the wave. Whether you're all about that draft life or prefer to grab some cans to go, Fieldwork's got your bases covered. Check them out at fieldworkbrewing.com to learn more. That's fieldworkbrewing.com.
This is Chris Townsend and Commander Cody for Link Soul. The new summer colors and prints are in stock. The new polos, lightweight, all the colors you want. Fabulous. We got our new order.
My wife is so happy that I'm dressing so much better. All thanks to Link Soul.
You name it, whether it's polos, whether it's shorts, anything for your summer needs, you need to revamp your wardrobe. You go to linksoul.com and they got great summer deals. Go to linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com, nestbetting.com. That's nestbetting.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Betting, love where you sleep.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Now through December 21st, new customers can get 1.2 gigabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Switch today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Nestled in the hills of San Jose, minutes from Silicon Valley, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club offers 27 holes of championship golf, a first-class pro shop, practice facility, and great food in the grill. This time of year also means family and business get-togethers. Let the folks at Cinnabar Hills make your event unforgettable while enjoying their award-winning venue. It's all there for you. Championship golf, a great space for any events, and incredible food. See it all at CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
And the underdogs, Oakland Athletics, win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, three-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ for me or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Serrata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
If you're looking for the latest green and gold gear for the 2023 season, then look no further than athletics.com/shop for your officially licensed gear. That's athletics.com/shop.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Is convenience a state of mind or a real thing? At Extra Mile, it's a real thing, and it's in everything they do. The stores are spacious, organized, clean, and well lit, so you can get in quickly, get what you need, and keep going. It's just what you'd expect from a place serving up the hot and fresh food and snacks you love. So treat you right, and check out Extra Mile's fresh take on the convenience store experience. Extra Mile convenience stores at select Chevron and Texaco locations.
A's first base coach Bobby Crosby was on A's Cast Live and discussed what he learned as a coach in the A's minor league system.
I think I have a pretty good grasp on the guys inside now. Just kind of know what makes them tick. And I'm sure, and when everything I heard about Bob as a manager, that's what the players loved him. And the players can see through somebody who's fake, someone who cares about themselves and doesn't care about them as a person. The playing side is great. You're going to help a guy out. But, yeah, guys come in and talk to me about what's going on personally, what's going on in their life. And a lot of times I know already. I kind of dive into that side with them. And I consider a lot of my friends, there's a line there where they know it's manager Bob, but it's also I'm talking about myself, manager Bobby. And then also, you know, when it's time to play, it's time to play. But outside of that, I'll hang out with them all. I'll enjoy time with them and really get to know them. They know, I believe they know that I truly care about them as a person. And if baseball's their passion, which it is for most of them, that's what I really try to dive in on. How can I help them get to their goals of getting to the big league? So yeah, but it's more than just writing the lineup out. It's really diving into who the person is and what makes that person tick.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Streaming from the East Bay, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
All right, we still have a second show today here, day 2 of the winter meetings. We still have Dan O'Dowd from MLB Network is going to join us. Alden Gonzalez from ESPN at 3:15, and Mark Kotsay, the manager, at 3:45. What time is the draft lottery?
4:30 Central, 2:30.
I'm out. You're not keeping
Pacific.
me till 4:30.
Yeah, no, I'm out too.
And then tomorrow we are on from what time?
Local time 9 to noon, so that's
No
7.
one cares about local.
7 to 10 Pacific, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific.
And then we got to get out of here.
Yeah, then we're going home.
Well, we don't leave till like 6 our time here.
Yeah. Nothing's going on. We really need to do 6 hours of coverage tomorrow, and the only thing that happens.
I need to be covering the Rule 5 draft.
I need to cover Kirby Yates as a new Texas Ranger.
What? Kirby Yates?
It's a big deal that just happened about 25 minutes ago. Rosenthal reported it. Kirby Yates, 1-year deal with the Rangers. Hot stove's heating up.
Wow. Kirby Yates, huh? That's what we got today?
Here it is. Confirmed by Evan Grant. Deal worth about $4.5 million. Oh, whoa. I hope passing with something. Right-handed reliever and the Tampa Bay Rays, Chris Stavinsky, former Astro.
Chris Stavinsky, which was a major weapon for the Lastros back in the day.
1-year contract with the club option, sources tell ESPN. Wow, that's all these relievers.
Who?
It's heating up.
With who?
The Rays. Apparently, they're looking to shop.
Remember,
Glass
he was
now.
an ace reliever at one point.
Yeah, he was good for the Astros. The rumors are earlier that the Cubs are one of the teams looking at Glass now.
Okay, I have no idea why Shohei Ohtani would keep you from getting Glass now. That makes no sense.
We've said it how many times that Glass
That makes no sense.
Glasnow said his career high in innings and wins last year was like 120 innings and 10 wins.
No matter what happens with Ohtani, it should not affect what's happening with Glass now. It's
Apparently,
ridiculous.
I guess during his media session, Dave Roberts mentioned that they met with Shohei Ohtani a few days ago at Dodger Stadium. So that started setting people a buzz. And it's like, well, Ross Atkins had the Santa Claus tracker on him this morning because he was in Dunedin last night.
But the fact that you can't do anything else is literally ridiculous. What does Glass now have to do with Ohtani?
Nothing. And he doesn't make anywhere near as much money.
So, I mean, are you basically saying that you can't do anything? And I mean, that's what I don't. Oh, there he is. Dan O'Dowd. There he is. There he is. My man, Dan O'Dowd, former general manager, and by the way, phenomenal on television.
I got one former guy that likes me right here.
Yeah, I'm your guy.
I'm your guy. You are my guy. You're the only guy that likes me. So I love coming on your show. I feel my ego feels better when I leave your show.
Well, I got to tell you this. Recently watching you standing up for starting pitching, it has gotten ridiculous. The people who are, it's like watching our games, watching no one give you innings. I'm glad lately you've been standing up for it because we're getting so ridiculous with bullpens. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but it's not a fix that's just at the big league level. It's you got to start at the foundational part of our game. The whole incentive system in our game changed. Believe it or not, I'm going to go back so far. It started with the advent of the radar gun. So that's how far it went back. Because I believe scouts, and colleges and evaluators throughout our game, just took guys that threw hard. And so now it's just matriculated to the point because technology's gotten better where we can measure so much in our game. But what we value doesn't have any sustainability within our game. So a kid gets a college scholarship anymore based upon arm strength, not based upon feel, not based upon athleticism, not based upon his ability to manipulate the baseball, command and control, low walks, marginal strikeouts, pitch into contact. Those kind of kids don't get recruited by Power 5 conferences. The only kids that get recruited at the Power 5 conference are guys that have velocity, arm strength. And so fundamentally, that's what comes into the entry part of our game, even at the youth level. If you go to travel ball organizations and youth level. So the whole paradigm needs to change, but it needs to start at the major league level where we begin to value guys that have a field to pitch, have a really good delivery, they're really good athletes, they pitch to contact, they work quick. The art of pitching that existed in our game not too many years ago, we've got to get that back. Because I can tell you, it's the only thing that's going to have sustained health. The amount of money we spent on the DL or the IL this past 2 years, it's just been astronomical.
It's
go. Not sustainable.
I'm ready to go old school with you because I used to work for the Raiders. It reminds me of Al Davis. Al Davis cared about your 40 time. He cared about speed. It wasn't, can he play? I mean, Jim Plunkett, I've had dinners with him where he talked about, we'd have guys come in. They were track stars. They didn't know how to run routes. They couldn't catch balls. Al didn't care. He wanted speed. It's the same. It's find me the velocity or find me the speed and I'll teach it. And the reality is harder to do than you think.
Well, it is. And the Guardians have done a great job taking guys that in college in particular that didn't have a plus fastball that now do, but because they had a feel the Biebers of the world, they had a feel with the added velocity, they become elite. So they've kind of unlocked that a little bit, and but not many teams has followed suit like that because velocity does win. I'm telling you, I get it. It's just that it's not a good product to watch for the most part, and health-wise, it's just not sustainable. You cannot be a max effort pitcher in our game and have any sustainable health, and we need to start thinking about our players' health too in the big picture.
All right, I'm really going to butter you up now. All right, you ready? I didn't trust anybody because right now we have a lot of stuff going on with the A's. And with everything going on with Vegas and the move to Vegas and our fan base is really unhappy. I haven't asked anybody this question because I don't trust a lot of people. I trust you with it because I think you understand it. You understand what it's like to deal with dysfunction. You understand what it's like when a new ballpark is on the horizon, how to start building. I want you to get into David Forst's shoes. And from your perspective as someone who did this at such a high level for so long, how you feeling for David and what do you think he's going through right now as he's sitting here trying to make moves or at least set up something, pave the way to make moves later on?
Yeah, I think you and I talked about this during the season last year. And I mean, I've gone through some major rebuilding jobs, but there was always light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, the thing that always blew me away by the job that Billy and David had done for so many years is knowing that the stadium issue had this dark cloud hanging over their head. And there's so many ups and downs emotionally attached to that. Like in Cleveland, to give you an example, when we went through that massive rebuild in the 90s, we knew that Jacobs Field was coming in 1994. So the pain of all those losses in 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, but we saw light at the end of the tunnel and we could see the talent we were collecting. I can't imagine what it'd be like showing up every single day with that pressure on you, but no light at the end of the tunnel. That would have been emotionally really hard because, I mean, all the people that do these jobs, they're competitive people. And even if you're realistic about your opportunities to win, it doesn't make the losses any less painful. And the disappointments of, a deal that doesn't work out or a player you draft that doesn't get over the hump at the big league level, it just takes an emotional toll on you over a period of time. And it's really hard to maintain any kind of optimism about the future. These are really, really hard jobs. And I really feel for what David's trying to do. I think David's personality has a better chance to handling it than maybe mine's did or even Billy's did, because I think we are wired a little bit tighter. I think David's got a way of putting things in perspective exceptionally well. And I think that behooves him to be able to survive this period of time and start to see all the good things that are happening in the AIDS organization, because I think there are. It's just you don't necessarily see it just yet at the big league level.
And when you preach patience, it's one thing, patience for a year, 2 years. 2028 is a long way away.
It is. And it's hard because you have, like I call them, waves of opportunities to win. And so you go through a rebuild and then a wave comes of players. and you want it to time it to where it hits, to where the pitching and the hitting somewhat, you never match it up perfectly, but it creates this opportunity for winning. And yet, like, where are they going to be at? What is their payroll that they can be supported with the club? If they're good young players, can they sign them long-term to have some kind of sustainability? Or do you have to turn it again and again? I can tell you the hardest job for a general manager in a game is not the first rebuild. It's the second rebuild. You use so much of your institutional energy and your passion for the game going into a rebuild. Man, it's to do it a second time. I think it's almost impossible. I think you need to move on at that point in time because you just, you're worn out from doing it the first time.
You give everything you got.
Everything you got.
And you're like, I can't do this.
And then you get it, and you really start to see all the fruits of your labor, and then look at it and go, oh my God, I've got to do this all over again. I told Dayton Moore after Kansas City won, and they were about to go through a rebuild. I said, because we had to do this in Colorado. So when we got to the World Series in 2007, we still had a pretty good run. We didn't play well in 2008. We were really good in 2009. Just ran into an incredible Phillies team in the playoffs. But I knew, like, and so in my mind, I should have left the Rockies in 10. Like, that should have been my parachute year. But Kelly McGregor passed away. There were a lot of factors that I ended up staying there. But I wasn't the same. I was a little smarter, and as relates to what I focused on, and I saw things that I didn't see when I was younger. But I didn't have that same it factor I did through the first rebuild, because it's just hard, man. It's just really, really, really hard. So I sympathize with what David's trying to go through now. And I can tell you, as good a team as he has around him, when you're the top guy, it's the loneliest place in the world. I mean, you're the one that at the end of the day has to, answer to everybody. And a lot of times people want you to provide answers and you don't even know yourself. Yeah. Like, he doesn't know truly what's happening with the ballpark situation. He probably doesn't even know his own personal situation as it relates to, the whole move and everything else. And it takes a really strong individual mentally and somebody with tremendous character and integrity to show up every day and grind it out and do the very best he can do under those conditions.
Yeah, I think we're really lucky to have David.
I think you do. You really are.
And it's kind of like what we saw earlier today with Aaron Boone, where Aaron Boone does a press conference and it's the biggest crowd, right?
Yep,
of all
right over here.
Right over here, right? And then he gets done, and then they mob him again. So he's got to do a post press conference. And our buddy Johnny Gomes, longtime A. So Johnny and I are sitting here, and I'm like, Johnny, that job would suck. Because here's a guy that just answered all the questions.
Has to answer them again.
And now he's got
because everybody wants their own personal question.
And I'm like, and I think about whether it's a job like that or like what David's doing. I mean, not everybody's cut out to do those jobs. It
really does.
Special
I
people
think
to do
people
the
don't
jobs.
realize that it's just you never have a day off mentally. One, from Booney's case, I mean, when you're a leader every single day. You don't lead when you want to lead. You have to lead all the time. So you always have to be on. In David's case, every day that he wakes up, he's dealing with another set of problems that he's got to solve. And he's got to solve it in a way that moves the organization even incrementally forward just a little bit.
I think about these meetings, and right now everybody's bummed out because it's slow. I think of last year when the shortstops went quick, and I'll wait for Judge. But the one thing from a front office standpoint, especially I think from like a marketing standpoint, you do love if you're one of the teams that come to buy. You do love to have something because of what we saw, especially with the Giants last year when they thought they bought Correa, built a whole package around Christmas tickets, and we got our guy, and it didn't end up happening. But you see what happens with that. When you get your guy and you buy him, it's like the organization celebrates through the new year. It's tickets,
short-term celebration,
spring training. Like
it creates momentum.
I don't think everybody understands that why teams want to do business here is because that's how it sets you up.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants are a great example of a club that comes to these meetings with. I felt like coming into these meetings, I thought Farhan, who I really respect, might have more pressure on him than any baseball executive in the game in this offseason. A.J. Preller may feel that a little bit too, and Brian Cashman certainly be in that category. But, it's like the Giants have a really good team without any aircraft carriers. And so how does that model take them to the next level? It probably in his mind, he's come to the conclusion that it doesn't. But then, then there are only a few aircraft carriers out there, and you've got to present a case where your place is the place to go to. And if not, what's your plan B and what's your plan C? Because fans are tired of hearing, well, we lost Yamamoto to whoever, or, et cetera, et cetera. The danger of the position he's in, you end up overpaying for a guy that's truly not an aircraft carrier. And that's the really difficult box he's in, because at the end of the day, the greatest day you sign a free agent is the day you have the press conference. And then you got to live with that decision forever. So you've got to be very prudent about who you want to invest your money to.
Aircraft carrier, by the way, you brought up that analogy, and everybody's stealing your analogy.
Yeah, Brian Kenny thinks
oh my God. I'm MLB Now.
I should have patented it.
He's mentioning
that is not his idea. Let me tell you. Let's make that clear.
Yeah. That is yours. I watched that episode when you brought that up.
Exactly right.
And an aircraft carrier, as you said, it's a high-priced guy. It's a star player.
It is. And, we're going to have a draft lottery here. Like I say this example, like the Oakland A's last year, that was the one year. I texted David and I said, man, you guys stay out from underneath ladders. Because for me, there were 3 aircraft carriers in that draft. I mean, there were other good players in that draft, and I love the player A's got, but he wasn't Langford, Cruz, or Skeens. He's the next level down. And to go through that season and not have a shot at any one of those 3 guys. Langford ended up playing all the way up to AAA a year ago. He may be the Rangers starting left fielder this year opening day. I think Cruz is going to be in the big leagues with the Nats, and Skeens the number 1 starter. Like, that's the other way to get aircraft carriers, and yet you need some luck in the draft. That was their year. I'm not sure next year there's any player that actually falls into that category yet.
I mean, we need destroyers. We need a lot, but some aircraft carriers.
Yeah, you got to start. You got to get the fleet built around. So you need the aircraft carrier, and then the boats come around.
We got to get the Admiral to make it happen. We got to let you go. Yep. I know you got to get moving. But before that, I just want to promote with your son the virtual reality.
Yeah, it's winreality.com. We're making a tremendous difference in hitting. I mean, we now are a full-service hitting platform. It's just not about pitch recognition anymore. You hit in our system, you get immediate feedback in our system.
Softball too.
Yeah, baseball and softball too. We created an app, Live Pitch, where a parent that can't throw BP now can with their child on downloading the app onto their phone. They can sit there and they can sequence pitches to their son or daughter and compete against them in the confines of their own home, wherever you got Wi-Fi. So we are making such a difference within our game. We still got a long way to go, but again, winreality.com would be a great Christmas present for everybody.
No doubt about it. Any way we can help you, let us know.
I appreciate letting me get a plug in.
Let's get out and sell.
Let's go.
As you said, it's Christmas time. You want to softball, baseball, it works for everybody.
Yeah, and if you want to get better as a hitter in every aspect of hitting, you need to have this. And it only takes 15, 20 minutes, 3-4 times a week to become unbelievable at it. Like there's some big league players in particular, I won't get into their names, unbelievable when they utilized our system last year in the games that they used it versus the games they didn't. Dramatic difference in results.
Put it this way, you want to be an aircraft carrier?
Get Win Reality.
You got to use the product. That's what we're talking. And as you know, it's great to have Hall of Famers and great players get up there and tell you about baseball. But the reality is, when you come on MLB Network, now we're getting the real.
Yeah, you will get an honest opinion.
No offense to all the guys that come on the show. We love all of them.
I can't tell you.
But you want the real. This is the real.
You will get real. I can't tell you, you'll agree with everything I said, but it'll be 100% authentic. That's for sure.
It's always a pleasure.
Yep, thank you, guys. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Coming up next, we got more right here from the winter meetings on A's Cast Live. This is Chris Townsend and Commander Cody for Link Soul. You need to redo your wardrobe, especially for summer. They got new colors, new styles. Summer is here. The polos, unbelievable. The shorts, you name it, we got our new order.
My wife is the happiest one out of all of us because I look better, thanks to Link Soul.
And they've got unbelievable deals right now for the summer. So what are you waiting for? Shirts, polos, shorts, you name it. You go to linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Hey, it's Eno Saris, your friendly neighborhood baseball scribe. There are two things I love, baseball and beer. When I'm not busy around the ballpark, you'll likely catch me back with a cold one at any of Fieldwork Brewing's 8 locations sprinkled across the Bay Area. Fieldwork's got a rotating lineup of over 20 beers on tap that's as diverse as any 26-man roster. They got everything from super juicy hazy IPAs to crisp pilsners and tropical sours that make your taste buds do the wave. Whether you're all about that draft life or prefer to grab some cans to go, Fieldwork's got your bases covered. Check them out at fieldworkbrewing.com to learn more. That's fieldworkbrewing.com.
It's almost that time again, A's fans. Spring training will be here before you know it, and the Oakland Athletics will be celebrating 10 years at Ho-Ho Cam Stadium. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, starting on February 24th, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends.
Lawrence Butler, it's a fly ball to left field that's deep. Has a chance opposite field, home run, Lawrence Butler.
Grab your tickets early for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Giants, Padres, Cubs, Angels, and more at Ho-Ho Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Now through December 21st, new customers can get 1.2 gigabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Switch today. Requires paperless bill and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
Nestled in the hills of San Jose, minutes from Silicon Valley, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club offers 27 holes of championship golf, a first-class pro shop, practice facility, and great food in the grill. This time of year also means family and business get-togethers. Let the folks at Cinnabar Hills make your event unforgettable while enjoying their award-winning venue. It's all there for you. Championship golf, a great space for any events, and incredible food. See it all at CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
Streaming from the A's Road studio, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Well, appreciate you stopping by. How are you? It's been a while.
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's been nothing's happening, and yet I feel incredibly busy at the winter meetings.
Well, Dave Roberts walked by. We got to see him.
Yeah.
What's he been talking about?
You know,
other than Mookie playing second now, I thought that was interesting.
Bless Dave Roberts because he dared to go where no man has dared to go at the winter meetings, which is divulge even the most basic information about Shohei Ohtani. He actually acknowledged what would have been obvious, which is, hey, the Dodgers like Shohei Ohtani. They'd like to sign him. And yeah, because they'd like to sign him, they actually met with him. They met with him at Dodger Stadium. That is actually seen as a big deal. It shouldn't be, but I'm glad that he at least said that. Gave us something to write about at least.
So we have the Dodgers met with him.
Yep.
We have the GM for the Blue Jays going to their spring training during the winter meetings, going to the spring training facility to meet the agents. Like there's been nothing on this.
No, and that's exactly how. I mean, look, I'm not trying to disparage. Like that's how Shohei Ohtani wants it. That's how Nesbalello, his agent at CAA, wants it. That's how it played out basically in 2017 when he first came over from Japan. He's a very secretive guy. He doesn't want much out there. And it's weird because it's this combination where there's no baseball player that we're more interested in globally than Shohei Ohtani. Major League Baseball would want nothing more than for him to sign at these winter meetings. And then you have the pull on the other direction where he doesn't want anything out there. And he just wants to do this in complete secrecy. So that tension is kind of very real this offseason.
All right, you're based in LA, right?
Correct.
All right, so you think about the Dodgers, you think about the Angels. I still think the Angels are in play. Do you?
I do to some extent. I think the comfort and familiarity of the Angels is a very real draw for Shohei Ohtani. I think especially having to rehab another Tommy John-ish surgery, having done it with them before, the comfort of that, I think, is real. I think there's an appreciation that the Angels, I think particularly their general manager, Perry Manassian, helped launch him as a two-way player. Like they helped set the blueprint for him to be the guy that he always wanted to be in the major leagues. How far is that going to carry them when the price tag is going to exceed $500 million and you have a team like the Dodgers with all their resources, you have a team like Toronto, like the Blue Jays in the city in Toronto that he's always been intrigued by. That's a tough thing to overcome, but the national perception that they have no chance because they haven't won around him, that's not true.
All right. So if you had to bet Southern California or somewhere else, forget teams.
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with two teams in Southern California. I'm not buying the Padres are a part of this.
They're not.
All right. So Southern California or bet outside California. What are you betting?
Oh, man, that's a good one. I've never seen it phrased that way. I'd bet Southern California just because there's two teams, so I'm just playing the probabilities
And I think
here.
he wants to be there.
I think he does too. I don't think he has to be there. I think when he first came over, regardless of what they might say, like what we've heard a lot is like geography mattered. Like being on the West Coast mattered. Having a shorter flight to Japan mattered. This time, I don't think that's the case. Like, for example, I don't think they're in this now, but the Red Sox were seen as a very real possibility for Shohei Ohtani. He was always intrigued by Boston, by Fenway Park. Like, that was very real. And I think Toronto is very, very much a threat in this.
Yeah.
So it's not geography contingent. I will say, though, Ipe, his interpreter, being from Southern California matters. Nesbalello being based in Southern California matters. To what degree, I don't know. I think what Shohei Ohtani is looking for is, yeah, he wants to win, but he also wants to go to the type of organization that will cultivate him being a two-way player moving forward, that has resources to maximize that, and to play at a ballpark and in a city that he likes.
You know, the one thing, the criticism that I always had, because, you know, he made his debut against us. We've watched him so many times. I didn't like how they originally used him, where he wasn't hitting the day before. He wasn't hitting day of. Sometimes didn't hit the day after. It's like, this great talent. He's hardly playing and everything. I love the way he flipped the script. I think he showed you in the WBC how this guy is an ultimate gamer. And why I would bet Southern California is, you know, for a lot of people to be like, oh, the state taxes, because we know living in California, big difference. 13.9% versus everywhere else. It's a lot of money. I don't think that's something that bothers him. I think that
he makes plenty of money.
Yeah, he makes plenty of money. He's about winning, and that's why I believe the Southern California teams fit him the best. What about, you know, and then we're waiting on Juan Soto.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because I had heard that Juan Soto might move before the end of last week. And then the thought was that he's going to move at the winter meetings. And I'm not saying that's not a possibility. It could still happen. Something that you need to understand here, though, there are a couple things here that are important. One is a lot of the teams that are in on Juan Soto, or most of them, are in on one or both of Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So they kind of got to wait for the clarity.
We kind of like not taught. Yamamoto is 25 years old. He deals. Everybody would love
He's
to
getting
have
at least
him.
$200 million.
Yeah, it's like everything's so Ohtani. You kind of forget about him.
Oh, the Dodgers love him. A lot of teams love him. The Mets, the Yankees. He's going to get over $200 million. But, you know, those teams have to kind of wait to see how those free agencies play out before they get it really aggressive. I think the other thing that we need to understand is, although like the perception throughout the industry for a while, and I've written it about this, has been that Juan Soto's got to be moved. The Padres got to trim payroll. They have a lot of holes to fill. They don't have many other pieces to move. It's kind of what they have to do. AJ Preller would very much prefer to just keep Juan Soto. He traded for him to have 3 postseason chances with him. He would love it if he could rebuild his starting rotation elsewhere. I don't see the pathways for that, but my point in saying that is he's not going to make a deal for Juan Soto just to make a deal. And it's very clear right now that he's not getting the return for Juan Soto that he wants. And so I still think he's going to get traded eventually, but I think he will let this play out as long as it needs to get what he needs, particularly starting pitching, but it's got to be a package that's worth giving up their best hitter, one of the best, if not the best hitters of our generation.
Would you, as a front office guy, say, you know what? I know Boris is going to make him a free agent.
Yeah.
It'll be a bidding war. Do I just wait?
It depends on what my needs are. For example, if I'm a team like the Yankees, I am being very aggressive on Juan Soto right now. Because if you have the starting pitching that they want, if you could put together a package that intrigues them, and you're a team that needs to make a splash, coming off what happened this past season, the expectations in that market, the short porch in right field, the type of impact Juan Soto can have hitting with Aaron Judge in the lineup, what the Blue Jays are doing, the Orioles coming up. Like, you need to make this type of move. And I think he might not sign an extension before free agency, but Juan Soto is definitely the type of guy who would want to play in New York. And he would embrace playing in New York. Spending one season with your team could definitely give you a leg up in free agency to sign this guy. And oh, by the way, he would be a relatively young free agent. He'd be 25, 26 years old.
You're buying his prime.
You are buying his prime, and that's very rare.
Yeah.
It's rare for that type of player to come. Now, there's talk about, like, is he going to be a DH eventually? He will. But the hitting ability is not going anywhere. The strike zone discernment combined with the power, not going anywhere. If I'm the Yankees, I'm doing almost whatever it takes to sign him because it's not just 1 year. I'm thinking I can convince him to stay in New York if he plays in our environment for a year.
Okay, I know you got to go. One last one. What's a storyline that we haven't been talking about that you're super interested in?
It's hard to say because I've been so focused on Shohei Ohtani and Juan Soto.
Well, being based, you're ESPN and you're down in LA. I mean, you have to be, right?
I'll get a little granular on this, but it's something that I'm focusing on too. And it's just how the uncertainty with the linear cable model and the RSNs might be impacting offseason spending.
Oh, there's no question.
And we're seeing that play out with the Rangers, with the Guardians, with the Twins.
Mariners.
It might be in play with the Mariners. Yeah. And it's a very real thing, the uncertainty there. And I think it's driving a lot of the relative inactivity that we've seen so far.
It's probably, I know there's only so many people in on Ohtani. There's a lot of people who you've lost your cable deal, you potentially could be losing your cable deal, and the future does not look good for your cable deal. And
exactly.
that's more than half the league.
Absolutely. And it could be more than that very soon. So absolutely, it's driving a lot of this. A lot of teams don't feel like they're in a position to spend, and I think there are only right now a handful of teams that can. And that's a problem for the league.
And they're all in on Ohtani.
They're all in on Ohtani or Yamamoto or Juan Soto. Exactly.
Mookie Betts playing second base full time do anything for you?
I think this was heading there for a while. He strongly prefers second base. The Dodgers believe he can be a Gold Glove caliber second baseman. I believe that. It's better on his body to not have to play right field all the time. It makes sense. It's what he wants to do, and I think he prefers to just play one position as opposed to bouncing back and forth. He takes ground balls in the middle infield every single day. He loves it there. So I saw this coming.
Hey, great stuff. Let's talk in spring training.
Absolutely.
Happy holidays. Enjoy them, and hopefully we'll have something before we get out of here.
I really do hope so. Thanks for having me.
We got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
Hey, it's Eno Saris, your friendly neighborhood baseball scribe. There are two things I love, baseball and beer. When I'm not busy around the ballpark, you'll likely catch me back with a cold one at any of Fieldwork Brewing's 8 locations sprinkled across the Bay Area. Fieldwork's got a rotating lineup of over 20 beers on tap that's as diverse as any 26-man roster. They got everything from super juicy hazy IPAs to crisp pilsners and tropical sours that make your taste buds do the wave. Whether you're all about that draft life or prefer to grab some cans to go, Fieldwork's got your bases covered. Check them out at fieldworkbrewing.com to learn more. That's fieldworkbrewing.com.
This is Chris Townsend and Commander Cody for Link Soul. You got to go to their website right now, linksoul.com. The new polos are unbelievable. New colors, lighter weight. We got our new summer shipment, Cody.
I couldn't be happier. I look better. All thanks to Link Soul.
So we're talking about new polos. You can check out their shorts, anything you need for summer. They have it right now. When you go to their website, they've got a smoking summer deal. Go to linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Now through December 21st, new customers can get 1.2 gigabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Switch today. Requires paperless bill and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
It's almost that time again, A's fans. Spring training will be here before you know it, and the Oakland Athletics will be celebrating 10 years at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, starting on February 24th, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends.
Lawrence Butler, it's a fly ball to left field that's deep. Has a chance opposite field, home run, Lawrence Butler.
Grab your tickets early for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Giants, Padres, Cubs, Angels, and more at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try the world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpawshopwc.com. That's chickenpawshopwc.com.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
Nestled in the hills of San Jose, minutes from Silicon Valley, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club offers 27 holes of championship golf, a first-class pro shop, practice facility, and great food in the grill. This time of year also means family and business get-togethers. Let the folks at Cinnabar Hills make your event unforgettable while enjoying their award-winning venue. It's all there for you. Championship golf, a great space for any events, and incredible food. See it all at CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
A's Cast Live continues from the town. Here's Chris Townsend.
The manager of the Oakland Athletics is on his way. We will finally talk to our guy, Mark Kotsay.
Maybe we can get his thoughts on Jock Tawney, kid from Florida, because draft lottery tonight. What's he think? Kotsay, two-way player in college. Just saying.
Do you think Mark Kotsay is going to want to talk
draft
about Jock Tawney, a guy he may not know anything about? Hey, can we talk about a guy you've never heard of?
Jack, because it starts with a C. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Florida baseball. Not since
Is he Florida or Florida State?
Florida. Not since the polar bear was at Florida. Since have I watched?
You're watching a lot of polar bear?
No, I didn't watch any. I wasn't grinding the tape.
You weren't grinding. You're not frame by frame.
I've only ever watched in person. I've only watched a few Stanford and Cal baseball games.
Dude, how about the Dodgers rolling down and just going, "Oh yeah, Mookie's going to play second full time"?
I mean, it's like the biggest news we've gotten out of the winter meeting so far. Unless you want to talk about Kirby Yates, but yeah, it's been like it was said, it was tweeted or posted, whatever we call it now on X, and that was it. No one's really talked about it since.
Well, I mean, doesn't tell you the extraordinary talent of this guy. I mean, infield, outfield. We have seen guys go. Like Robin Yount was a MVP at shortstop, move out to center field and was an MVP.
Yeah.
You saw catcher Craig Biggio go from catcher to second base. I mean, you've seen it, but I mean, it's like to watch a guy be a premier outfielder and go, "Hey, I'm not going to be a who has gone from outfielder to premier middle infielder?"
Ooh. Let me think if I can think of it off the top of my head. There's not many. Actually, I can't think of one. Outfielder to premier middle infielder. It's usually the other way around.
Just not. You went to the middle in the field. You're premier middle infielder. You're, as Alden just said, Gold Glove caliber.
Yeah, let me do a quick Google search to see if we can find anyone.
I mean, that's rare air. To be a Gold Glove outfielder and infielder?
Yeah, I'm looking.
But I don't doubt that this guy, I mean, is, my God, the most extreme. His talent is unbelievable, everything he does.
Yeah, it's not bringing anything up, but I'm not digging deep into this while we're
live on the air.
Yeah.
Our man Rocco Baldelli back in the building. You forget how big the manager of the Twins, who at one point was known as one of the freakish athletes, and Josh Hamilton, Carl Crawford, and Rocco Baldelli were all Devil Ray prospects.
With Johnny Gomes.
With the great Johnny Gomes. Johnny Gomes was talking about that earlier today. You forget how big Rocco is. He's a big dude.
They
He
had
could
another
flat out run.
They had the Devil Rays back then had a couple. There's a couple other guys they had that were in there. Farson, they're pretty highly touted too. They didn't pan out, but yeah, they had some guys back when they first started.
The talent that they had in the Rays.
And then they finally got good when they changed the name to just Rays.
I mean, Mark Kotsay is going to be here, but we have this great article because we just had Black Friday after Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday. And it's a great article that I'm probably a lot of you didn't see about the deals, the top 10 worst contracts, teams, the Black Friday deals they would like to take back.
Yeah, the current contracts, not of all time, because we can go through that forever. It's the current contracts.
Current contracts. And there's quite a few. And they're big name guys. Yeah. And it goes back to, maybe, and Alden just said it, I've been saying it, I think a lot has to do with these cable deals. I don't think I'm not buying all this inactivity as just because of Shohei Ohtani. I think for a couple teams, they're really waiting on Ohtani to see the kind of money that they can spend. But literally, I could go down all 30 teams and go through. I mean, we can do it right now. Houston Astros, were they ever going to be in on Ohtani?
No.
That's no. A's, no. Mariners, we thought. Now we know.
So.
No. Rangers, no. So there's only one team in the AL West, and that's the team he plays for. That would be the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. In the Central, AL Central, there's not one team.
No, not even close.
White Sox, Guardians, Tigers, Royals, Twins, not one team. East, Orioles, Red Sox, Yankees, Rays, Blue Jays. As of right now, Red Sox are out. Orioles were never in. Yankees really have never been in. Rays obviously not in. And then there's the Jays. So there's two teams in the American League that we can say are in on Shohei Ohtani. Just two. Let's go to the National League. Nobody in the West except the Dodgers and the Padres. So that's two. In the Central, you got the Cubs. That makes 5 teams. No one else in the Central. And then as of right now, I'm not buying the Braves. I'm clearly not buying the Mets. I got 5 out of the 30 teams are really in on Shohei Ohtani. 5 out of 30. So that means there's 25 other teams that could be doing business down here that has nothing to do with Shohei Ohtani.
And we're not getting anything besides a couple small deals that have happened.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like the whole Tyler Glass now. There's 25 teams that could be trying to acquire Tyler Glass now. There could be 25 and it would have nothing to do with Shohei Ohtani. So I'm not buying that this is all just a holdup of Shohei Ohtani. I think there is a lot to do with just that we don't know what our television RSN contract money is going to be.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. The more that, you've mentioned it and thinking how everything is going down with all the different teams and what we keep hearing from more and more people today. I mean, even Duquette was talking about it with us.
Now, Yamamoto may be holding up the market as much as anybody.
Well, yeah, because I remember I texted you when I heard Buster only say it on his podcast, Baseball Tonight, that he felt that Yamamoto would get money closer to what Garrett Cole got than what
$300 million,
than the $200 million that DeGrom or anyone got.
$300 million.
Helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
A's Cast Live continues from the town. Here's Chris Townsend.
We ready to rock? We back? You got the Nest Betting sponsorship ready?
We don't have an open for Nest Betting.
We don't?
That's just Eno hasn't opened. You always manually do Kotsay's.
Wow.
Link sold.
You're Nest Betting.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah. I can make things happen. I can make whatever you want happen. You're Mark Kotsay, for God's sakes. You're the manager of the Oakland Athletics. Brought to you by Nest Betting. Love where you sleep. Check out their location in the Bay Area, or you go to nestbetting.com. And whether it's your bed, your mattress, your pillows, you sleep on a Nest bed from Nest Betting.
I do.
Check out nestbetting.com. Well, how are you? It's been a while.
It has been a little time.
We've been calling you every week, but you don't call back.
You know, that's not my fault that I don't call back, because you actually really never call.
That's true.
You know,
I give you the off season.
Rocco Baldelli, who's sitting right over there, called me more than Chris Townsend.
We had Rocco yesterday for like 2 minutes.
Stud. We could be brothers, huh?
You're better looking than him.
Oh, I don't know. He's
taller, but
managerial list. He's probably higher than I am. The white beard really throws everybody.
Yeah, you're not an old guy.
No, I just turned 48. Had a birthday.
You went white
Saturday.
pretty early, didn't you? You were blonde back in the day.
I was blonde, and I had hair. Really good hair when I was here in 04, 05, 06.
I remember you in college, for God's sakes. I'm excited, and I know A's fans. Everybody's pissed off right now. We all get it, but we're still going to talk baseball and talk about the team. And I just think about going into this spring training. There is talent. There is legit talent that compete. And I think spring training, we're going to have battles on the mound. I think we're going to have battles, whether we're talking infield, whether we're talking outfield, like legit battles for playing time. I don't know what it's going to mean wins-wise, but I think there's something here. It's going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think, obviously David and Billy in the front office of baseball ops group, they've tried to do their best to assemble and get, the most amount of talent to the big leagues as fast as possible, which we saw last year. And those A's fans, obviously a challenging year in all facets. And it continues to be challenging. It's going to continue to be challenging going forward. The reality is, though, that, we understand the situation we're in, and we want to accelerate that progress, and we want to accelerate, getting back on the map and in this division, competing to win this division. And I, like you said, I think we do have a collection of talent that the A's fans saw come together really in August and September. If you look at the first half of the year, we were staring at history, and Zach Geloff showed up and a couple others, and kind of changed the culture. The next group that came, the Soderstrom Butler group, kind of recognized how difficult the big leagues really are. And I think the culture that was built in September amongst this young group is going to continue forward in spring training. They're going to continue to challenge each other. They're going to continue to hold each other accountable, which is all the right things to build going forward for, winning ball club.
Dave Stewart just walked by. Dave Stewart is going to get you the number one pick.
Yeah, Dave Stewart.
It's his response. We had him on earlier today. Dave just went. They're going to have the draft lottery. Dave just walked by. It is Dave's responsibility to bring home the number one pick.
If anybody can get it done with that mean mug look when he was on the mound, in that room, Dave Stewart can get it done.
He's still at like 67, could take anybody in that room.
I wouldn't mess with Dave Stewart.
Black belt still to this day. Yeah, I would not. I would not mess with Dave Stewart. How important is it for you to make sure that all the noise is blocked out? Because there's going to be a lot of noise.
Well, I think the challenging thing, Townie, is really our players have gone through the noise. This group that's coming back next year, the vast majority of them have played in front of the noise. And so they understand that the noise isn't directed at them as individuals, as players. It's directed at, obviously ownership to say the truth. And so we utilized the noise in a positive, I think. And you could feel the emotion and passion behind, obviously, the anger that the fans have, but also utilizing it in a positive. And I think we showed when we had good crowds, we actually played our best baseball. And that's not to say that we can't play our best baseball when there aren't good crowds. But I think our guys really rose to the occasion.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there were times where the house was rocking and there was some well-played games.
Yeah, and then it went silent in the fifth and we gave up 2 runs. Do you remember that game? That was the reverse boycott game, when they showed up full force and it was great. The environment was amazing, yesterday I was asked, what the emotion was when, I heard that the relocation was voted yes and the owners approved it. And, obviously you understand the passion and anger and you feel that and they're they're hurt and they have a right to be, but for me, I know as an Oakland Athletic and one that played here in front of the group, and none of those fans are going to walk away without the fight that they've shown. And we'll see how it goes forward. That my goal, I said yesterday as well, is to continue to play in the Coliseum until that day happens, really.
Control what you can control.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's all you can do. People want answers. People want answers from whether it's someone like yourself, someone like myself, and it's like that everything is so far above our head. We're not even in the discussions. We're not, and I know that they just want to be able to talk to somebody and get answers, and we're not the people. We can only focus on what we can control, and that's the baseball part of it.
It really is, and it's getting this club back on a winning track and as fast as possible, and instilling the fundamentals and the disciplines that it takes to win baseball games, which we're going to start out in spring training with this group and really drill that home. I think the biggest thing for us is understanding that we're going to make mistakes, but cleaning those mistakes up and playing a clean game. It starts on the mound, and we can talk about the mound. You look at the year last year and the first 2 months on the mound, we were really, really bad. And we made adjustments. Scott Emerson and Mike McCarthy at the time really dug in, and the focus was just throw strikes and, don't give up free bases. And I think they learned a lot. JP Sears had a tremendous year for making 32 starts and posting every fifth day, taking the ball. Then we got to see a little bit of excitement and a kid that we watched for 3 starts in Boyle, right?
Very excited about the big young man from Notre Dame.
Yep. And then you saw Estes as well, who's 21 years old, come in very poised and have some pretty decent outings. So it's there. We got hurt a little bit with the Ken Waldachuk injury that's probably going to linger a little bit and set him back. But like you said, there's enough talent and what we know we need to address and what we're going to try to address and do our best with is bring some pitching in, to help these guys.
When I look at Geloff, I look at Noda, there's some guys that I see that, you could say, okay, this is the position that they are going to play, and that's the way it's going to start the season. Then I think there's a lot of battles out there, but they're good battles. Like, talk about when you're heading to spring training in your mind, how you see some of these battles.
Yeah, I think, obviously the outfield is crowded with talent. You look at a guy like JJ Bleday that came back for that last series against Anaheim through the injury that we were without for 6 weeks or more. You look at Esteury Ruiz, Lawrence Butler. So there's 3 guys that can complement center field that are going to go compete. Seth Brown coming back, Brett Rooker coming back. We added a young bat out of the Pirates organization, named a kid named Andujar that can hit a little bit. And so there's going to be some competition, as you talk about, the middle of the infield. Nick Allen, we know what he can do defensively, and I thought he played an above average defensive shortstop this year, and he knows what he needs to do offensively. We saw it get better. We saw his on base go up. We saw his approach get better, doing the fundamental things that he needs to do offensively down in the bottom of the order to help us generate runs. And so then you've got you got Zach and you've got Jordan Diaz. You got a Ledmus coming back. So there's, like you said, there's some competition.
is there for you. You brought in Toro. I mean, there's all kinds of guys.
Yeah, there are. And
Brett Harris.
Brett Harris is down there. You even look at Jacob Wilson as a kid that could accelerate himself through these
like
systems.
that.
So
yeah,
the young kid Max Muncy, who's a shortstop that was played in the fall league. So and then you've got the catching situation with Lang. And I talked a lot about Lang. I compared him a lot to Murphy's first year. I continued to talk about it all season. The kid ended up hitting over 20 homers. He ended up catching 150 plus games.
Threw a lot of guys out,
and he's going to get better. It's just, you've got to be patient. And I use that word as well this last season. And, going forward, it's not like we're going to have a roster of a bunch of guys going to arbitration. I think Seth Brown and Paul Blackburn are the only 2 going to arbitration, which means they're the only 2 with 3+ years in the big leagues on our roster outside of a Ledmus, who's got a guaranteed deal. But there's just a lot of youth, but yet a lot of excitement about that youth.
Last year, I remember we were talking to spring training. I was kind of like, you're kind of, we'll see. This year, it's like, let's go. Oh,
yeah, there's a little bit of an expectation level to come out of the gate and to play better. And if we can get, years like we talk about, you put a team together and you're basically trying to assess, an average year for each guy, and you want to get an above average year from different guys, but we're basing that on not a lot of data and not a lot of, big league experience. So there's a big variable curve there. And as we saw the Diamondbacks, I mean, their process took, a couple of years. They accelerated it. And there's nothing that says that can't happen here.
Well, a lot to be said. I know you got to go. You're going to be on MLB Network. You got to get out of here. But a lot needs to be said about the job that you did, just not as a field manager, everything that you had to do with a lot of different things that went your way, because it was not easy whatsoever. And there was a lot of questions that were thrown at you that shouldn't have been thrown at you. You shouldn't have to answer that kind of stuff. But you did a phenomenal job in a really, really tough situation that most managers in the history of the game haven't had to go through, what you went through this past year, and you nailed it. And it showed your leadership. You're a leader of men. I think you proved a lot to yourself. And I think you grew a lot this past season.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. And we all have to learn from our past and our mistakes. And, going forward, just try to be better. Just try to be better every day. And that's the goal for me and for this group going into the 24 season.
Have a great Christmas. Happy holidays with the family. And next time we talk, we'll probably be spring training.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me on, Tanner.
Great Mark Kotsay. Go enjoy MLB Network. TV star. Put a little makeup on, a little lipstick, get ready for the show. Love it. But your manager right there, Mark Kotsay, always appreciate it. Brought to you by Nest Bedding. Love where you sleep. For all your mattress needs, for your sheets, your bedding, you go to nestbedding.com. Would you like me to move over?
Oh, we're almost done anyway.
Make it easier.
Yeah.
Switch cameras, move over. And I'm not, I'm glad we did that when we did it. Normally you do it, at the first part of the meetings. But there's a reality what I just said. Mark Kotsay had to go through far more than most managers. I mean, so many things were asked to him by certain media members where they're asking, it's a lot. It's very similar to but even more. But it's similar to what Billy Beane had to deal with years ago. If you remember, Billy Beane was the guy that was the only one that talked. So everybody would ask Billy Beane about stadium stuff, right? They asked him about Fremont. They asked him about San Jose. And Billy Beane kept going, I have not, like, what do you want me to say? I'm in charge of baseball. I mean, that was the best thing that could happen to Billy Beane was to have somebody else show up like Dave Cavill. So Billy Beane didn't have to answer questions about things that they'd say, but you now he got asked those questions before he got ownership. Then he got a little bit of ownership, but it was like he doesn't have vast, huge part ownership of this ball club. Billy Beane was a head of baseball operations. He was the general manager, but there was no one to ask questions to. Well, now we've kind of thrown that with Mark Kotsay. Mark Kotsay has to answer questions that are like, he's the manager of the team. He's not in charge of business operations for the A's. So Mark Kotsay went through a lot this year. Went through a bad team. He went through a ton of players. He has all the noise and all the stuff going on away from just the baseball team and the stuff and the move and all that. So what he went through, I think there's no question. Just getting through that season, how could you not grow as an individual? How could you not grow as a professional?
Yeah, it's very well said. And
so some people might say, oh, you're just being a homer. Like, if you don't get what I just said, because that would apply to anybody who's in management. Anybody in management who is managing, is a part of management for a business that goes through a tough time, and you continue to be a good manager, you're a good manager of people and all that kind of stuff. This isn't about being a homer for the A's. This is talking about reality. It's about managing people, doing your job, being a professional. Mark Kotsay had a phenomenal year when you look at how he handled himself as the manager of the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, I think what you said is very well said. I don't know if there's anything I can really add to that, but yeah, it's just everything he went through this year and still going to go through with the next year and the years, he did the contract extension through 25, so he has to deal with all that. And he's going to have to handle he's going to ask the questions too. Thank you. The boss man.
The big boss man is out.
He's getting on his Learjet back to the Bay Area.
Tighten up, baby.
Hey, do you want some more positive news? On this date in 2008, Dan Plesac joined MLB Network.
2008.
Yeah.
What was it?
I think that's when the network started.
Because they just had they had an anniversary. He's been on there, I thought, almost since day one.
Yeah, I want to say it was 2000.
And DJ Dan, Disco Dan, DJ Dan.
Friend of the program, Disco
Dan Plesac is a great personality. And if you remember back, he was a terrific, big, hard-throwing left-handed reliever. He was a legit all-star closer. But he's funnier than hell on MLB Network.
Yeah, I enjoy watching him when he's on there. Well, when I was able to watch it.
I still watch it every day.
We've
had an unbelievable guest list today. This is the second. We're doing 2 shows a day. So this is Rajai Davis, Jim Duquette, Dan O'Dowd, Alden Gonzalez, and Mark Kotsay. That's just the afternoon. What we have earlier?
Dave Stewart, Johnny Gomes, Katie Wu, Stephen Vogt, Bob Melvin.
I mean, seriously.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day?
I mean, you've been talking the majority of it, but
I've only been talking for 6. I've been talking for about almost 12 hours the past 2 days.
Yeah, that's why we're only going to do about 3 tomorrow. We're going to have Sam Fold.
Oh, you don't think I could go another 6 tomorrow?
Give yourself a break. David Force tomorrow.
The GM.
Sam Fold, the GM of the Phillies tomorrow. Lou, our good friend from MLB Network, did tell me that they're going to try to get BK for us too. So
the great Brian Kenny.
We'll also have Bob Nightingale to start the show. We're probably going to have Julian McWilliams from the Boston Globe because the Red Sox are making a lot of moves.
Oh wow! Shots fired.
Anthony Castrovince was very nice about rescheduling because we had Bob Melvin. He understood, so he's coming on with us live tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we're gonna have there's Lou, and we're gonna have
Lou is the star of the meeting.
He is MLB Network.
What is MLB Network without you, Lou? Lifetime contract.
So a good show guest list tomorrow as well. So looking forward to one last day. Maybe we'll see something Tonight, maybe we'll be leading the show tomorrow with how we're going to have the chance to take the second time ever in franchise history, the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
Did you say it was 66 or 65?
65. 66, Reggie went number 2.
19. So where were you in 1965 when Rick Monday, was it on this show? Rick Monday, I had tell the story.
I don't think it was here.
I might have had Rick Monday just on the pregame show. Rick Monday told the story. He was in Omaha, Nebraska for the College World Series. He was stretching down the right field line, and a reporter came running down the line as the Sun Devils were stretching, getting ready for their game. And it was a reporter that told him he'd been drafted number 1 by the Kansas City Athletics.
Yeah.
How far have we come since 1965, the draft?
I'd say a pretty long way.
From Rick Monday getting notified down the right field line stretching, being the number 1 pick, being guaranteed millions of dollars, having an agent, having all these deals, having everything set up, being on national television. Boy, the world has changed.
We'll go over tomorrow about all of our, I think we've had the number 2 pick multiple times, like Reggie, Ben Grieve,
Mulder.
We've had number 2 a lot. One time ever, number 1, going 1-1, as Stu and I were talking about it earlier. So Stu has a chance to deliver us the second ever 1-1.
All right, here's the question. Are you getting Griffey or are you getting Brian Taylor?
Wow.
Throwing a Yankee great under the bus.
Yeah,
it was Brian Taylor, right?
I don't see you saying it when Aaron Boone was walking around, or Cashman.
Oh my God, we need to do this tomorrow. I took pictures. Aaron Boone, just to give you an idea of how awful the Yankees job is. Aaron Boone, massive, the biggest crowd, obviously, around his press conference today. So they're all doing the press conference right over here to our left. Massive group, massive standing room, right? Layers of people deep. He gets done with answering questions for a half hour. He then stands up, walks away from the podium, starts walking. Next thing you know, wham, they're all around him again. He not only does he does the press conference, he's got to do a post-press conference because now everybody wants to do one-on-one questions with him. So I have pictures of his post-press conference. The next guy up is Bruce Bochy, manager who just won his 4th World Series title, and there's empty seats available.
Yeah.
Empty seats. He's the Rangers manager, just won the World Series. Bruce Bochy, 4-time World Series. There's 3 rows of seats, and there were empty rows. But and he just walked by.
Yeah.
We should ask him the question. Oh, is he going into the draft? Is that where he's going?
I saw a lot of them going back. A lot of managers are going back there. You know, one thing we forgot to ask Kotz? Forgot to ask Kotz about Jim Leland.
Yes. Damn it.
He'll be walking by again we'll still be tearing down when he's on the MLB Network. We'll ask him off the air.
Well, Jim Leland got Mark Kotsay into betting the ponies. So Mark Kotsay being the number 1 pick for the Marlins, when he got brought up, he used to bet the ponies and go to the track with Jim Leland, smoking cigarettes, betting horses down there at the he's got the name of the track.
I couldn't tell you.
And actually, Mark Kotsay lived near the track down in Miami.
Okay, so Miami, because I don't know where the spring training is. I'm saying, are you saying Kotsay was a Sarasota bro too, or
no? It's in Miami. He was betting horses in Miami.
I just don't remember where their spring training complex is.
No. This was during the season. Kotsay lived there, and then him and Jim Leland, his manager. So you're the rookie hotshot, and you're betting the ponies with your manager.
Full circle.
Oh, baseball has changed so much. All righty. What a great day today. Unbelievable day. I mean, not a whole lot of news down here, but we gave you big names all day long. We're doing our part. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. West Coast time. Day 2 in the books. Winter meetings in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll see everybody tomorrow. This is Chris Townsend and Commander Cody for Link Soul. You got to go to their website right now, linksoul.com. The new polos are unbelievable. New colors, lighter weight. We got our new summer shipment, Cody.